All right, how's it going? I am in another room now so that I can renovate a few things in my office. Hopefully it'll be just a couple days, but I have to deal with this for now. So hopefully it's not too distracting for me to do these videos here. So that is the state of my life right now. Otherwise, yeah, I want to talk about changing your business name. Not, for SEO purposes or just generally, when should you consider changing your name? And how should you go about doing that if it's the right thing for you? So, my name's Josh Thompson. I think 3 months here, close to 3 months doing this every day. This is going to be forever. So yeah, follow along. Let me know if you've watched a few of my videos, if you're following along, if you have any questions or comments. I'd like to know who's watching these, if anybody. And yeah, if there's something I can talk about that might be more pertinent to you and your business. So with that, I've helped add over $35 million. I own companies that do millions of dollars, and I help manage and run marketing and SEO for multi-million-dollar companies. And so that's my experience. I have a lot of experience with local SEO and in doing this. So with that, let's talk about this name change thing. And at the end, I want to give you kind of a bonus. I like to do that, give you something unique that I think will really help you if this is something you're considering doing, to give you a little bit of an edge. So let's talk about changing your name and the SEO benefits on that end. What are the downsides? And are there other upsides or downsides? So first of all, we have to look at SEO in a couple ways. Yes, what keywords are in your name is very important, especially if you're newer or you're not ranking very well and there's keywords that you want to rank for. That's really strong. If they're keywords not a lot of people are targeting, that's even stronger. So it's good to do your research and really know what name you want to use before you use it. I find a lot of people just want to throw a name out there, but the name that you choose for your business should be two things. It should be brand focused and memorable. And two, it should be SEO savvy and heavy and targeted towards a specific direction. So if you're missing both of those things, then you probably want to adjust your name in some capacity. Now, we were talking about SEO, right? The keywords. So it's important to do some keyword research and know what keywords you're trying to target. But I think the other part of the SEO is just the value of branded search. If you're ranking well in something, right? If the business name that you have, people know and they're searching for that directly and specifically, that's a huge boost to your SEO. So tweaking a name to add some keywords, that's not a bad idea. But if you have a lot of brand equity, you need to consider that. Even if the brand you chose is a little bit more boring and not as memorable, if people know what it is around your area, that's huge. And that's driving SEO for your business. So take that into consideration. But on the other side, if the brand you have is something simple like American, right? American something, right? And you don't have a lot of brand equity and you don't have the keywords, then I really suggest you start with the rebranding phase of this and finding something that people can really remember. Then add keywords to it, right? If you're the goofy goose, geotaggers, that's what you do, is you're a geotagger and you're really good at that. I'm obviously just making this up. But like that's a name that's super memorable, and you put your keywords in there, right? Geotagging, right? I think that's something from like the freaking like 2000s or something. I don't even know where I got that from. But that's memorable, right? And so that's really good for, your brand to have memorability, but the keywords, then you throw the keywords in there and that really helps. So now what if you want to change your name? How do you go about doing that? Well, there's a few ways that we can do this to simplify the process. First of all, you want to go update all the citations or put citations out there if you don't have any on all these pages like Yelp, Facebook, Hot Frog. There's a million citation sites where your information for your business sits, your name, your address, your phone number. So if you have those, go update them to your new name. Or you can go create ones if you don't have them, which are really good for your ranking anyways, with your new name. These suck to change, but they can be changed if you save your username and password information. Otherwise, if you don't have that, then you got to figure out a way to start changing those, as many as you can. And that's where things can get difficult, but there's services that can help you with that. So that's changing the name. You start with the citations. Now we tell Google what our name's going to be. You wait 2 or 3 weeks. Okay. And then what we want to do is change the name. Now we don't want to do that directly. There's indirect ways. And this is kind of the bonus I wanted to give here. If you're going to change your name, do a suggest. Have somebody with a level 8 or higher Google local guide account. They can go to your business and they can suggest that the name is incorrect, and then they can update that name. Google might accept that and update it. Now, this is a whole back and forth of whether this is going to work. It used to work really well. Lately, I've been seeing it a little bit more choppy, but I've been doing this before I go change it myself, and I'm wondering if that isn't even helping me get the name changed and not run into problems. But you don't want to get suspended. You don't want to run into any of these problems. So if you do have to change your name, and even more than your name, if you have to change those things, then make sure you do things slowly, one piece at a time, and then wait for a couple weeks before you make any new changes. The more changes you make that are big in a row, the more likely you are to get suspended. The last thing I'll say is if you do have a big brand change and you put everything out there and you know that you're liable to get suspended, make sure you have a DBA. Your utility bills are changed to the new name. You have signage on the business with the new name. If you have all of that information, well, then I wouldn't be as worried about getting suspended. You want to avoid it if you can, because getting out of suspension sucks. But at least you know that you're doing things correctly, and that if you did get suspended, you have all the paperwork to back up your business. It's a lot easier to get a business unsuspended that actually is following all the Google guidelines than somebody who's trying to get a location they don't own, they don't have utilities, they don't have a sign, right? So that's what I got for today. I think this is a super important topic. I try to cover it a lot, but your name on Google just makes such a big difference. If you want me to do an audit for your website and Google Business Profile, I will do that for free. Right now I'm offering that. Just comment GBP under here, or you can reach out to me, Josh at brightbeamseo.com. Otherwise, we will see you tomorrow.